class instance variables in the Ruby. So before starting, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. I will teach you the Ruby from beginner to the advanced level. So let's start. So in the last video we discussed about the class variables in the Ruby. So we saw that how the class variables work and what are the behavior of class variables in the inheritance. So before starting, if you have not watched the video of class variables, I recommend you to watch that out first so that you have a better understanding in this video. So in the last video we discussed that the class variables can be inherited from the parent to the child. So if the child changes the value of the class variables, that value gets changed for the parent as well. So suppose you don't want this behavior, you need that the class variables should also be have a separate copy for the each class, like the instance variables. So in this case there is a class instance variables in the Ruby. Let's say how we can use them. So for example, if I make a class foo, just for the example, and if I make a class instance variable count is equal to 0. So class instance variables always start with the single, like the instance variables, but they are defined in the class instead of in the initialize method. So if I make a class method increment and I just add 1 to it, okay, def self dot current value. Here I just simply return the count. Okay, let's say we make another class bar. It inherits from foo. So now here we define the same variable again. So this class, since this class is inherited from the foo, this variable will also be inherited, but here we define again. So in this case, if we call foo dot increment and if we print foo dot current value, let's run this. So 1 is printed, 1 is incremented. So if we change it to like 100, right? So we can see that 1 is incremented to which class instance variable. So now 1 is incremented, now 0 is incremented to 1. So so this class instance variable gets changed because we call the foo dot increment. If we call here the bar dot increment and we print the again puts bar dot current value, so you can see that we call this bar dot increment, it will get increment in this variable. For the foo, this class instance variable is incremented, but for the bar, this class variable is incremented. They have now a separate copy. This bar has a separate copy of this class instance variable, and foo has a separate copy. This is all about the class instance variables, where each class has its own copy of class variables like the instance variables. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to read more detail about the class instance variables, I have added the link in the description. You can check that out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.